Wow. Here we are back again, once again. Sunday Night Alive Power Hour, episode number 123. This is a live interactive broadcast. And actually, episode 123, wow, it's kind of, well, it's not hard to believe that I've done 123 of these episodes. The question that I'm always asking myself is, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I taking time out of my Sunday to come here and get in front of the camera? Or why are you here? I believe we're here because we're looking for answers. We're tired of we're just tired of the old, whatever it may be, and we're looking for the new. We're looking to get ahead. We're looking to grow. We're looking to discover or rediscover ourselves, right? That's why we're here on this broadcast. So once again, I'm excited to be here. And once again, broadcast 123. Again, I'm Soldier of Self-Mastery, aka Santos Jr., straight out of Stockton. And today's topic, we're going to be talking a little, we're going to dive into this topic a little bit. Vision building and blueprinting into new life. And what is this all about? What is building vision all about? What is blueprinting and taking steps, taking the necessary steps that you need to take towards new life? So welcome to the broadcast here. I'm waiting for those of you that are I'm going to wait a few minutes for those of you that are going to join me today on this broadcast to come on board. Welcome, Nahil Johnson, to the interactive live broadcast number 123. I hope that you stay with me today on this, all of you. I hope that you all stay with me on this broadcast, because we're going to be diving into this topic of vision. And why vision? Why is vision so important for us today? Is it important, or have we lost our focus of what true vision can do for us? That's what we're going to be talking about on this broadcast. And so I'm welcoming each and every one of you guys here. I want to post this for everybody else to see. All right. So let me just do a little bit of before I get started here, I want to do a little bit of house cleaning, or let me pay the bills. Like Paul, Master Coach Paul says, let me pay the bills, whatever that means. Where am I going with Soldiers of Self-Mastery? A 1 million man, a 1 million woman army. To build a 1 million man, 1 million woman army of soldiers. That's the goal. What are these soldiers all about? We'll discuss that a little bit more going forward. You got to stop thinking small. You got to start thinking big. So make sure that you support us, team up with me here, with Cephas, Coach Cephas, as we go forward to build this mission, Soldiers of Self-Mastery, to reach out to 1 million folks around the world to help you develop your superpower, tap into your inner genius, become more creative, become more crazy, if you will. All right, let me stop there. So that's what it's all about. Support us. And the link, you can see the link, the new link that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Joe, I want to thank you for being on here. There's a few people here. There's a few of us. All right. Romans 12:2. Again, we're going to talk. I was thinking about doing a little bit of an experiment today on this broadcast, and I don't know if I'm going to do that. Hi, Tricia. I may do this experiment, or I may talk just a little bit about, it's actually not an experiment. It's actually a class that I want to teach. And basically what that class is going to do for us It's going to help us get more focused. It's going to help you also, if you don't have a current destination in your life, it's going to help you kind of refocus to get a new destination, or even elevate your current vision that you have. Maybe you love the life that you're living right now. Yeah, I love the life that I'm living, but you want more of it. So I'm thinking about this meditation class that I've been working on, putting it together. I don't know yet if I'm going to do it. I might do it live, or I might just do it on a separate program. I may do that. But I really, really want us on this program today, those of us that join in today, I really want you to walk away with this in your mind, that you're capable of doing way more, okay? More than you're doing right now, more than you'll ever do. And I want you to walk away from this broadcast with that kind of thinking today. All right? Are we in agreement here? I need to have some agreements with those of you that are here today. All right? Because I want us to all drink some really good, healthy, fresh mineral water and turn that light on, flip the switch. Maybe your switch is maybe your toggle is stuck in the middle. Maybe there's a little bit of dirt in there or whatever. Bam. I want you to flip that switch on and turn your light on brighter. And hopefully you'll find the solution that you need for your life, whatever it may be. Listen, I don't know where you're at in life today, but hang around, because I believe that we're going to find some solutions here. Let me get to the proverb today, because it's really excellent. It's actually out of Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Now, there's a few of you that have joined me today. I want to make sure that I acknowledge you, because you are extremely important to me, as well as I hope that I'm extremely important to you. So it looks like Joe is here. Man, you guys this is incredible. 123 episodes of Sunday Night Alive. And believe me, I've got plans. I don't want a boring program. I want to be able to do more. I want to shake people. You know what I like doing is I like shaking people at the core. I really enjoy doing one-on-one with people and watching them kind of walk away, because I don't enjoy that, but it's sad and funny at the same time, because I can tell when people are not ready for change. People are not ready for change. Okay? And we know that the time capsule, this time capsule COVID-19 that you and I are in, we're still in it. We're still in this time capsule. It is exposing people to the max. I know it's exposed some flaws in my life. How about you? Has it exposed some flaws? Maybe it's exposed some flaws in your business. Is that a bad thing, or is that a good thing? It depends on how you look at it, right? It depends on what type of glasses you're wearing. If you're wearing those dark, what do they call them? Those special shades. If you're wearing the dark ones, that's not going to work. You need to put on ray. What are they called? They're ray, whatever, sun rays or whatever. You need to put on a better set of sunglasses or spectacles. That's what this COVID-19 experience is teaching me. It's exposing me. It's literally turning on the light in my life for me to really look at my mind, my vision. Where am I going, Santos? Where am I going? So we definitely need to be renewed in the mind, right? Be transformed, not just one time, transformed. This program should be a spark. This program should be a beginning for you. By the way, if you're a first-time listener here, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to soldiersofselfmastery.com. I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to this million-man army that I am creating. I want to reach 100,000 subscribers. You're a part of it. You'll help me. And make sure that you share the videos. But I truly want you to become a part of what we're doing here. You know what? I don't want to go small anymore. I was really thinking about that. We get caught up in thinking, man, what does my family think of me? You know, what if my daughter sees? What if my daughter hears what I'm doing online? You know, promoting. What if she tries to expose all my hypocrisies online? What if my child? What if this person? What if the other thing? Distractions. That's one of the major reasons why we need new vision. You need new vision, my fellow soldier. That's what we're going to be talking about here. Again, I want to, in fact, we're getting ready. Hang on for a minute, because we're getting ready. I'm going to take you guys for a flight. You want to take a flight with me? I want you to get on an airplane. I want you to get on American Airlines with me. Flight 104. Okay? I want you to get on a couple of seconds here. We're gonna go up into the air. We're gonna get on American Airlines, Flight 104. Okay? You choose where you leave from. You choose. We'll take a minute here. Jesse, welcome to the program. I'm excited. You know, I'm really excited because when you think that things are just getting worse for you, and it may appear that way, like things are getting worse, right? Like we're all going through this pandemic, this fear-mongering pandemic. I'm calling it the time capsule COVID-19 experience. We're all going through it. Sadly, some people have not made it through this experience. My condolences, sincerely, my condolences go out to the family members that are struggling, think about it. Dying in a hospital, they don't let your loved ones see you. But there's some weird stuff to what's happening in the world today, my fellow soldiers. Very, very weird, very strange, very mysterious, very sad, very heartbreaking, leading people into a state of depression. A lot of people don't have vision. Even my vision has been distorted a little bit. That's why I'm talking about this on this broadcast today. You have to have a vision. You have to have direction. You have to have destination for yourself. You absolutely have to have it. And those that are willing, I'm often reminded of the bodybuilder, the four-time Olympia, Mr. Jay Cutler. I remember what he said. The four-time Mr. Olympia, the greatest bodybuilder in the world, four-time. Of course, he's not there anymore. He said, you have to be crazy. If you want to succeed in life, if you want to transform your mind, if you want to change, if you want to make a difference, you're not going to change the world, but if you want to make a difference, you have to be crazy. You have to be crazy. You have to have a vision. And you have to be hungry, right? You have to be hungry. You have to have a vision, but you have to be crazy a little bit, because we're not, like, I look at my life and I don't try to compare myself, but I notice that there's a difference. Why? Because I have a vision, because I'm hungry, because I want to reach people, because I know that time is of essence. We don't have a lot of time. People think we got time. We wake up tomorrow. Some people are not waking up. Isn't that the truth? So we come here to this program looking for solutions. I come here to be challenged, to take on questions, your statements, whatever have you. But I'm here to let people know that I'm on a mission. I'm finally realizing I'm on a million army, to build an army of 1 million, to touch 1 million lives, it's gotten me to where I didn't have this hunger. I didn't have this drive, but I'm starting to realize time. I think this COVID-19 has really put the pressure on me to help me realize that I can help people. I can reach 1 million people or more if possible, and to help them escape
the clutches, the darkness, the chains, the prison of problem gambling or some other weird, funky addiction that they may think, or you may think is in control of your life. And you have to think big. You cannot think small. Thinking small doesn't work. We have to stretch ourselves. We have to push ourselves. We have to let it be known. If you want change, if you want transformation, you got to get yourself out there. You got to, like Jay Cutler says, you got to have vision. You got to be hungry. You got to be crazy, a little bit crazy, because there's a lot of distractions. So Rob, welcome. Jesse, welcome. Jim, welcome to the program. Suzanne, Australia, Tasmania is in the house. Wilson, Tricia, all of you guys, welcome. If you have a question, you got something that you want to bring up. If you have a question, I want to take you guys for a little ride with me here. In fact, if you want to close your eyes on this Flight 104 American Airlines that we're about to get into, I'm going to close my eyes as I share this with you. I want you to see something here. I want you to see what I saw earlier. Okay? Are you ready? Or are you chicken? No, you're not chicken. By the way, another thing that I'm going to encourage is whenever you get in front of something, whenever you experience something that really motivates you or inspires you or causes you to think actively, not passive. We can't be on this program and be thinking passive. That's not going to work. You got to think active. Okay? Take notes, right? Take notes because you're going to get your thoughts. It'll help you. So just imagine, you know what? You're getting on this airplane, right? You've boarded, you've gotten your seat, and you're there. You're real comfortable. And, everybody else is getting on the airplane, boom. Let's call him Captain Bob. Captain Bob. So you're in this airplane, right? Everything's cool. You've been in an airplane before, if you've ever ridden, or maybe a ship. Maybe for you it might be a ship, or maybe it might be a car, right? But in this case, we'll just talk about this airplane. So I really enjoy I really enjoy the thrust that you get when you get thrown back a little bit in your seat, when the airplane's getting ready to take off. The landing, I don't really enjoy that one as much, but I do like the takeoff. If you've ever experienced that, you know what I'm talking about here. So next, you're up in the air, right? You're up in the air. And again, you know what it's like. You can imagine, the airplane sound and the stewardess. You can hear, noises here and there, a little baby crying and stuff like that. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to paint a story here. And you notice that you're up there for a couple of hours, right? You're up there for at least 3 or 4 hours. Then all of a sudden, your captain comes on, right? Captain, what did I say? Captain, let's call him Captain Bob, okay? Let's call him. If you've opened your eyes, you're cheating. No, I'm just joking. Captain Bob comes on, right? Shh. This is Captain Bob, your main pilot speaking. Just want to thank you for boarding Flight 104. This is American Airlines. We've had a very, very great takeoff. It was 84 degrees when we left our liftoff area, whatever airport that was, whatever it was. I'm kind of so he's talking, right? And all of a sudden, you hear Captain Bob say, everything's excellent. But then he says, folks, I don't know where we're going. I really have no clue. We don't have a destination, folks, but it's going to be a wonderful time up here in the air. I want to thank you and enjoy your stay wherever you find yourself. This is Captain Bob, Flight 104. What the heck just happened? Now, I want you to think about that for a moment. I want you to think about that moment. All right, because what did I just do? Most people are are, I mean, doesn't that sound, it sounds kind of that's like a really stupid scenario. Santos, that doesn't normally happen, right? Because typically when pilots get on an airplane, and when people, right, passengers get on an airplane, they usually have a destination in mind, right? Wouldn't it be crazy if you were on an airplane or on a ship or in somebody's car and you've been traveling for 4 or 5 hours and they turn around and tell you, I don't know where we're going. And yet that's where a lot of people find themselves today. Figuratively speaking, that airplane ride, that aboard American Airlines 104 is typically where most people are at today. Sadly, you know, they're in the air, they're sitting, they're very comfortable, they're getting the things that they want, you know, they're listening to all the noise and stuff, but yet the stewardess don't know where the plane's headed. The stewardess don't know. The captain doesn't know. And sadly, what happens? Why is it so important for you and I to have vision today? What's the number one thing? I'm not going to give you the answer on that, but I want you to think about that. What would be the number one answer, or the number one thing I would think why you should have a vision? Or at least begin something, begin a certain direction, right? It doesn't matter how you're going to get there. But if you know where you're going, if you know the address, you know, and I talk a lot about this, that's kind of tapping into your inner genius. That's kind of tapping into your superpower. Well, Santos, do I have that ability? Of course you have that ability. That's the reason why I'm here. And that's the reason why I am working on developing this crazy 1 million man army of people, of soldiers that use their mind. They create vision. They analyze. They take steps. They look at opportunities, just like this COVID-19 time capsule experience that you and I are in, and they learn to take advantage of the opportunities. Now, I'm going to say something. This is not easy, folks. If it was, everybody would be following me. Somebody said, yeah, Santos, you should have more subscribers on your YouTube channel. Of course, I should. But not everybody's going to listen to me. Now, and I'm not here to try to tell people what to do. I'm here to inspire you to find out what you can do. There's the difference. You know, sure, I could tell you what to do. I could tell you to use a book. I could tell you to pray. I could tell you to meditate on the Proverbs. I could tell you to do all of these things, but you're going to do what fits your lifestyle. You're going to do what you can put into your cup. That's what you're going to do. So it's not my job to try to tell you what to do. It's my job to inspire you, right? To find what it is. That's my job. That's my calling. And I have to absolutely get better at this. Is that, you know, this is my business, right? If I expect to do this full time, somehow, some way, I'm going to have to generate income from all this. I have to become creative. I have to build a team of people that actually want this. You know, some people will come into this program. They'll come into this movement, the Soldiers of Self-Mastery movement, and they'll build the talent that they need in their life, and they'll move on and go on to do something else. And then there will be those that will stay with me. We work together, and we impact lives, serving. There's nothing more. There's nothing more. We want to start practicing active thinking. Passive thinking doesn't work. All right. Let me see. Any questions? What do you guys? I haven't gotten enough feedback on this. I am thinking about starting a class where I actually take individuals through series of questions that I ask in a very, very it's a very positive environment. I might do this through a Zoom cast online or whatever, but I take you through a series of questions to help you find some answers for yourself. Again, you might be doing very well, but maybe you want to take that to another level, right? Maybe you want more of what you're getting. Or maybe you're not, maybe you don't even have a vision. Maybe you don't really have a direction and you really want to start finding that direction for yourself. This program is engineered to help you write down thoughts that come to you as I ask certain questions, as I kind of guide you, kind of like this little airplane scenario type thing that I did, except on a better level, a higher level, more precise, because you want to be precise as possible when you begin a blueprinting, if you will, creating new vision for yourself. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, Santos, get away from that word perfect. It's not going to be completely accurate because we grow, we evolve. You start out, that's why I've heard it said, and I've even read it, don't worry about how you're going to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. Just write it down. If you can see it, you can achieve it. And then comes, obviously the second part of that is that you have to find the tools necessary in order for you to begin making the micro steps toward that vision. You will not follow your vision if you don't meditate on your vision, if you don't have an accountability partner, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a program, you're gonna be just like that person that gets into that flight American 104. And you'll until you start experiencing the pain, man, hold on a minute. I'm in a vehicle that's not going anywhere. This is not good. I'm waking up to this fact. I believe a lot of people are waking up to that fact. They're waking up to the fact that the vehicle that they've been in, because of this COVID-19 time capsule experience, it's exposing all of us for what we really have inside. And, again, it goes to show us what's important, what's really important, what was really important, or what's really important during this period of COVID-19 that we're going through. I'll tell you what's really important. I'll tell you one of the greatest things, inner peace. Inner peace. If you don't have inner peace, you've got nothing. Well, if you don't have inner peace, you've got a lot of noise. Right? We have to learn to decipher what noise can I listen to? I mean, do we take it all in? We just, become elephant ears to all that stuff around you. No. You have to learn to listen to your inner voice. You got to learn to tap into your superpower. You have to learn to tap into your superpower. Okay, I've got something here. There's Paul. Canada's in the house. And just when Australia thought they could loosen the social distancing, there was another outbreak in Victoria where I grew up. These are very unsafe times. You have to face. Suzanne, thank you for bringing that up. Fear will actually hurt our immune army. We all have an immune army inside of us. There's people that are going to die, sadly, through this experience. I might be one of those individuals. I'm alive today. I'm going to do everything that I can today. Here's the thing. If we, again, where's our focus? Right. And I'm not picking on you, Suzanne, because when I first, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I started looking at the news. I was really concerned about all this. And then I realized, wait a minute. I felt like even if I got a little bit of a scratchy throat or my nose got funny, I would double up on my hemohim immediately. I would take 2 packets of this. Right. And because I know that this is producing white blood cells and red blood cells. That is one of the benefits of taking, which taking hemohim, which benefits your immune system. But I've also learned that if too much of fear, too much of negative will actually suppress your immune system. Our immune system is not it. God did not create our immune system to handle large doses of cortisol. That's the chemical that's released in our body when the brain triggers fight or flight, right? Fight or flight mode. It's only set up to just handle a little bit in other words, your vital organs shut down enough time for you to escape and get away from whatever it is that you need to get away from. And then you need to be able to re-elevate your immune system. When we continue to get pounded by death, by the quarantine and the all this fear mongering, and there's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of individuals out there exposing people making all kinds of mistakes. What's going to happen to our immune system? I tell you, my fellow soldiers, we need to rise up within ourselves, and we need to rise up within ourselves, and we need to elevate you need to elevate your immune system to the highest priority, so that you can maintain your vision, so that you can maintain steps, so that you don't fall into depression and, again, distraction. Earlier, I asked you a question. Why should you have a strong vision in your life today? I'll tell you why. So that you don't get distracted. If your vision is strong enough, you're not going to go gamble. Right? If your vision is gambler, guess what? When the doors open, you're going to gamble. If your vision is alcoholic, I've been told all my life I'm an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic. My mom was an alcoholic. I've been drinking for 30 years. I'm an alcoholic. Guess what? That's the vision that you have. Guess what? You are going to fulfill that vision in your life. Day by day, you will take the necessary steps to be fulfilling that vision. A new vision. We talked about this. This is the topic of this program today, right? A new vision. And there's no excuse for none of us because of this COVID-19 experience that we're all going through. There's no excuse. We can make changes. If you're not where you need to be, if you're not moving in the direction, if you're not taking the steps to create a good harvest for yourself, you have a harvest. We all have a harvest that popped up during this COVID-19, right? We all have. Or we've been having a harvest that's been popping up. If you don't like the harvest, if you don't really like the harvest that you have, then you have to begin planting some different seeds. Because if not, you're going to keep getting those wild weeds. And you're going to find yourself, wrestling with the wild weeds. You got to get in there. You got to pull them by the root. You got to pull those weeds up by the root. How do you do that? Change your vision. You change your vision, right? Meditate, active. I call it active thinking, not passive thinking. People that are on that airplane, on that Air 104, they're sitting on that airplane. They have no clue that the captain's going nowhere. They have no clue that they have no destination. No clue. They're waiting for something to happen. Something's going to happen. They're going to land somewhere. They may not like, remember Castaway? Wilson! Remember that one? Was it Forrest Gump that played that movie? Mr. Hanks, Tom Hanks. Remember? UPS driver, he landed on that. I watched that. I remember a couple years ago, I was watching that movie, and that crab and the little things that he was putting together on the beach, and then he got fire! And his partner, Wilson, remember that? The ball? He had the bloody hand printed on it. That was an interesting thing. I wouldn't want that for myself, I want to at least have an idea of where we're going, Yeah. Hey, Auto Magic. Let me see. I've been free for a month. I'm feeling pretty good. Don't see myself going back. That's good vision right there, brother. You don't see yourself going back. Build on that vision. I mean, take that write it down somewhere so it stares at you. Write it in. I don't care if you have to write it in lipstick in front of your vanity mirror. Remember what I say, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. That's what this is about, my fellow soldiers. It's about us reminding ourselves every day, finding ways, using these fun life hacks.
Right? The advantages of having a destination. It'll keep you from gambling. It'll keep you from some weird, funky addiction that you want to get away from, whatever it may be. Right? It'll keep you from arguing with folks. If you have destination, if you have vision, it'll keep you from arguing with a few folks. Because sometimes other folks think they know more than you, but the sad thing is that they don't have a vision, they don't have any direction, and you do, and you're going to clash with people. Right? It's going to keep you from pain. It's going to keep you from, we're going to have pain in life. You're not going to get away from pain. You're not going to get away from grief, but why add it? Why add more pain to our lives? Does that make sense? That's kind of stupid, isn't it? We add more pain. How it goes to show you how infiltrated we are, how brainwashed we are, how sinful we've become, that we want more pain. How about loss? What if you had a better vision for your business? What if you could start now, taking the necessary steps, finding the right business partner, finding the right brainstorming partner, somebody that you could be accountable to, somebody that would be accountable to you, because there's a lot of people out there that are, they'll tell you they're going to do this and the other thing, and then when that day comes, that hour comes, they don't do it. Can you relate to that? I don't want that in my life. Have I messed up in that sense? Have I said things that I didn't do? Of course I did. Santos, do you make mistakes? Of course I do. Every single day. But I'm not going to focus on my mistakes. You don't want to keep making the same mistakes over and over. Right? What about confusion? If you don't have a blueprint, if you don't have the steps, if you don't have at least a few beginning steps for yourself, what are you going to have? You're going to have confusion in your life. Just like people today, sadly, many are confused about this COVID-19. And some have committed suicide. Some have locked themselves away and even made themselves even more sick because they had the wrong focus. They had a confusion coming through the television. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm fired up because there's more. There's more to life, right? There is more. It's not, you may have something good. You may have a good personality. You may wake up every single day positive minded. You may be growing every single day in self-mastery and in self-empowerment, right? You might be a soldier of self-mastery. There's more. There is more to come. There's more to come, man. There's more. All right. Join me on this 1 million man army that we're building here. Join me as we reach out to 100,000 subscribers. You can be a part of this, man. And in the process, you're going to benefit if you team up with Santos, because I'm making some bold claims. I want to make bold claims, and I'll tell you why I'm making bold claims. I don't care who hears them. I'm not afraid of who hears them. Family, children, my next door neighbor, I don't care, because I know, number one, I know in whom I believe in. I believe in the master, and the master did not create junk. Yes, we're sinners. We've got problems, but we also have something inside of us that we can develop that's been freely given to you and I. And if we don't learn to tap into that, we're going to just live a life like a leaf. Like when the wind blows, it picks up the leaf and it goes over here. When the wind picks up again, right? I'm tired of that, man. I want to know. I want to know what love is. What's the rest of that song? See, I want to know what love is. I want to know. Anyways, I'm not going to go there.
but it is a wonderful tune. I want to know what love is. I know you can show me. Anyways, I'm getting excited. I see people coming on board late. I see some stragglers coming on here. Come on. Questions, observations, call me crazy if you will. Tell me that you're going to join me. Tell me that you're going to share. You're going to help every little bit. If we all do our little bit, we can help people become free from gambling. By the way, congratulations, Suzanne, 145 days, and you can keep going. We can help people. Listen, the bigger the vision that you get involved with, the less the distractions will be in your life. You're having a hard time with some addiction. You're having a hard time with gambling. You're having a hard time with something. Focus on something bigger than yourself. Santos, how can I do that? Easily. You can check out more of the work that I'm doing. You can subscribe to our email. You can contribute financially if you can do $5, $10. If you can do $30, you contribute to this mission. We're going to be creating some t-shirts pretty soon. I want to create a couple of different types of t-shirts and some other stuff. We're working. I got to get the word out there. I can't do it by myself. I'm not, I've been working on this mission by myself, but I'm realizing that I need help. I need some team players. I need people that are going to be committed. Don't worry. Well, man, Santos, I'll help you stay committed. I'm going to be here every Sunday, right? Listen, if you want to grow, if you want to become better, my fellow soldier, if you want to really tap into your superpower, you have to make change. You have to start now. You have to start planting the seeds. You got to trust somebody. You got to use something, whether it's a book, whether it's affirmations, whether it's mirror talk, whether it's counseling. We can find some common ground together. James Swanson, welcome to episode number 123. If you got a question or an observation, please, and let me know where you're from. Some of you guys come on here. I want to know who you are. I want to know what you're about. I want to know what you eat. I want to know what time you woke up this morning. No, I'm just kidding. I want to know what time you're going to bed. I mean, we have to be. I remember listening to Carol. I believe her name's Carol Mice. Her name's Carol Mice. She said, now, again, I'm not here to judge anybody because what I'm saying to you, I'm saying first of all to myself. She said that liars don't heal. She said, if you're a liar, this is Carol, her name's Carolyn Mice. You can find her on YouTube. You can drink wheatgrass and you can eat wheat germ and spirulina, and you can take all the protein and work out as hard as you want to. And you can even jog 50 miles a day. Now, of course, she didn't say all that. I'm adding to it. She said, a person that tells the truth, okay, and we're talking about healing, right? Liars don't heal. A person can be on a cat food diet that tells the truth. That person's going to heal a lot faster than the liar that is doing all of these exercises. And I thought, wow, I mean, that hit me. Because if we're not careful, we lie to ourselves. If we're not careful, we say things, and we do. I make mistakes all the time, but you have to catch yourself. Because if you don't catch yourself, guess who does? Your subconscious. And your subconscious is more prepared than you are to remember and to cause you to duplicate things that you don't want to do. So we have to really tap into our superpowers. And you're not going to get it 100%. I know I don't. Sometimes I hate myself for not getting it 100%. I simply remind myself, Santos, you can do better next time. And Santos, remember, you're a sinner living in a sinful world. There is no utopia. There is no complete utopia. There's only what you make it every day. And if you choose every day to make your day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top, in spite of and because of, that's what your day's going to turn out to be. Even if it's rainy, even if it's stormy, even if things go terribly wrong. Isn't that something? We don't want it to go terribly wrong. We don't want it. I don't want it either, but unfortunately, it's just the way it is. This is life. Right? We have to take our glasses off. Those dark spectacles, or let me say it this way, we need to recalibrate the GPS system inside of us, because in fact, the other day I was trying to fly a drone, and that thing just, I could get it up in the air, but it seemed it was just taking off by itself, man. It was just crashing the fence. It would hit the fence on one side. I'd get it up. Oh, I think I got it. And then it would go the other way. I'm like, what the heck, man? So I brought it inside the house. There was no wind. And, I had it raised. I've scared everybody in the house. And boom, it went into the, it smashed into the wall. And I realized that the little drone doesn't have GPS. Some drones do have GPS. So when you crank that thing up, they go up to a certain flight level and they hold pattern there. And they wait for you to give it the next move. Okay, it's telling me to go left. You go left, you go right, you go up. And, our lives, what is your life like, right? Hopefully we're recalibrating the GPS a little bit here on this program. Let me see. Since there is comorbidity within individual gamblers, then the situation is more complicated. I ask you with much respect. Comorbidity, that's an interesting word. I've seen it before, but I'm not too sure. Well, the way I look at it today is that you can make the situation more complicated than it is. We human beings, we're drawn to gore. We're drawn to blood. Whenever there's accidents and things going, you have to really force yourself sometimes not to look at that. So everybody's different, and you have to retrain, right? I remember there was a period in my life where I used to like watching horror movies. Not that I liked watching them, but I would engage in watching horror movies and other kind of movies that were really bad. Of course, all movies have some form of violence in them, but there's some movies that, I don't watch movies. Every once in a while, I'll watch a little bit of a YouTube clip or something like that, but I don't get into entertainment. I'm not into entertainment. I'm really not into sports. I don't know. Call me a strange individual, if you will. But I know one thing, I'm completely free from gambling. I know another thing, that I'm in control of my life. I don't walk around thinking in my head that external things are in control of me. That's dangerous. I wasn't thinking that way before, but I think that way today. I never really thought about paying it forward. Today, I'm working on paying it forward. I give a lot of free time, valuable stuff that I learned from others. People think, well, some of your stuff, my stuff's valuable to people that can understand what it is that I'm doing. To others that don't understand what I'm doing, there's no value at all. In fact, to them, I'm a crackpot. You know what I mean? I'm a loser. I'm just a dreamer. Well, I'd rather die a dreamer than somebody that lived a boring life in the comfort zone, full of pain, right? Just sitting there in that seat, Flight 104, with Captain Billy Bob at the helm, flying around. No idea, no clue. You know what I used to do, and I'll still do it. As soon as I get on an airplane, I pull out my journal and I write about where I'm going. Again, I write about where I'm going. Every time that I write about where I'm going, I renew my vision. I begin to see things a little bit differently. It's not just one time that I wrote my vision. The more that you look at your vision, the more that you inspect it, the more that you analyze it, the more that you scrutinize. And when you expose your vision to other people, you can see the flaws, you can see the changes, and you can, you grow from it. That's the exciting thing, is that when you stay with that project and it begins to take off, where's this mission going? Will I reach 1 million souls? Will I reach 1 million people army? Will I reach it? I'm going to strive for it. What if you only get to 500 or 1,000? Well, I think I've reached more than 1,000 already. You got to have the destination in front of you. All right. Now, I'm done preaching for the day, I think, a little bit. Let me see. I will never say I am completely free from gambling. I will always acknowledge it as a part of me that I have to control and live free from. That's interesting. And we all have the right to say what we want to say. That's true. I can't judge anybody. One thing that I will say is that words and sentences and phrases contain a lot of explosive energy. And we have to really take all of that into consideration. It was a little bit difficult for me to say. That I wanted to reach 1 million people army. It was. The more I looked at it, the more I really realized that maybe the reason why I wasn't saying that was, number one, maybe I didn't believe in myself, or maybe somebody else was interfering. And when I said, nope, Santos, you got to do what you need to do. Santos, you need to talk to you how you need to talk to you. And if what you're doing is working, then you share it with other people. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm sharing with you folks that you all have an ability that, unless you're tapping into that ability, you won't completely understand that. We all have the ability to be completely free. When I say that I'm completely free from gambling, yes, casinos are not going to go away. The billboards won't go away. People that gamble around me, they're not going to go away unless they pass away or those signs change. These things are not going to go away. Gambling and all of this is a part of life. It is a part of life. It's not a part of my life. The newness and post-gambling benefits are a part of my life today. And that's where I want to focus. I want to give myself more strength. I want to give myself more energy. So when I remind myself in the mornings when I wake up of Proverbs 18:21, death and life is in the power of the tongue. Again, that's another reminder to me. Santos, you got to be careful what you say. Right? You have to be careful. You got to be thinking. Like I said, we have to be actively thinking, not passive. Passive thinking is the person that is on the airplane, Flight 104, American Airlines. He's sitting there in a seat without the knowledge or ignorant of the fact that the co-pilot and the pilot that's driving that airplane doesn't have a destination. All right. James, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Learn to pronounce noun, the simultaneous presence of two chronic diseases or conditions in a patient. Yeah, that's kind of a difficult situation to be in. Here, my fellow soldiers, this is part of this mission. We really need to be thinking about these kinds of things. For instance, this just triggered a thought. If you're in good health, should you be concerned about taking a supplement or maintaining your good health? Or should you wait till things get really bad and then look for a solution? We're being brainwashed, my fellow soldiers. We're being brainwashed. We are. We're being brainwashed through media, through television, through YouTube, through books, through people, and even from our own selves. If we're not careful, we're brainwashing ourselves. How do you know that your brain? Well, if you're not moving in the direction that you need to be moving in, what does that tell us? I believe with the right people, I believe with the right mastermind and the right energy and creativity, a group of people can find ways to generate more income. They can find ways to develop their superpowers, develop their lives, become their very best, find purpose. There's a book out there somewhere, I never read it, The Purpose-Driven Life. See, that's the distraction that we need to have in our lives, right? We need to distract the distractions with something good. Now we're going to come down to the end of the wire here, but I'm going to remind you that you become what you think about. You will attract into your life what you think about. It is estimated that we have between 60 and 80,000 thoughts. 60 to 80,000 thoughts. I wonder who counts these. Somewhere in there. I know there's a lot. So there's this repetitive process or cycle of thoughts that are constantly, it's like a recycle machine, right? If you don't stop that, if you don't if you don't pull the lever on that conveyor belt, it's just going to keep doing the same thing. And you're going to keep asking the same questions. Man, why can't I break this habit? Why can't I stop this? Man, I just seem to keep doing the same thing over and over. Why? Why can't I? That's why. You've been taken hostage. And you got to pay the ransom. Right? If you get taken hostage, somebody has to pay the ransom unless you can break out of there. You got to have some really good soldiers. You got to have some really good people, detailed people with a fine eye in a hostage situation, or else you make it worse. Thank you for sharing that. All right, we're coming down. That's the truth. That's the truth. We are. Yeah. It's frightening that this is what's happening. People are living. I mean, if you pay attention to your own self, you can tell where you're being brainwashed yourself, where you might be brainwashing yourself. Right? This is not for the faint of heart. What I'm talking about is not for the faint of heart. It's, in fact, what I'm sharing with those of you that are listening. This is even scary. This is a little bit frightening. It's intimidating because this is challenging. This is what I'm sharing with you goes against our very core. If we're not striving. But I believe that you can get free from gambling. I believe that you can get free from any addiction you want to. I believe that. From anything. Using your mouth, using your brain, using a piece of paper, a book, even just video therapy. If you learn how to use video therapy, you can actually break yourself of an addiction. But if people don't become creative, if a message like this doesn't get out there, people don't know, right? I heard a speaker earlier today. I've heard him speak in the past, But what he said this morning to me really opened up my understanding. That was really cool. Just one phrase, one sentence. And be not conformed to this world. Yes, that's today's proverb. Thank you for bringing that up. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing. Okay, renewing. Let me see. Yes. That's the problem. We're choosing darkness. Yeah. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to know what love is. Yes. Oh, I like that one. I have money in my accounts now. I want to keep it that way. Just the feeling of security feels good. That's called dopamine, right? You're getting dopamine effect. Dopamine or endorphins. It's that the release of feel good. That's the gorilla is in our head. We all got choices, man. Yes, video therapy. You've never heard of video therapy? I've talked about it a few times here and there. What is video therapy? I'll tell you what, that's one of the life hacks that I used on myself. What do I mean by that? Well, you can watch a video or you can use a video. You can use a video and then take notes from that video. And then you can also begin to apply from the notes that you get just from one video. You could do 2 videos. Video therapy is also when you record yourself and then you watch that video. You listen to your voice. You check yourself out and you see things. I'm sure you've heard this before, that if you record yourself throughout the day, you can really you can really know what's going on up here, right? Other than hearing marbles up there, do you hear marbles? Right? You can actually hear. Anyways, I'm getting distracted here. That's what video therapy is all about. And in fact, I have videos that talk about this in my playlists. So it's a good thing. You can do, let me tell you something. You can do some marvelous things with yourself if you really, really want to. You can get super duper creative if you really want to. Of course, you got to let go of some of the fear, right? You can't be creative and fearful at the same time. I want to know what love is. But anyways, I'm just having fun. Yeah, I'm learning to tap into my superpower. That's deep. Maybe next time I'll make a whole program with this voice. I don't know if people would take me seriously, though. They think, man, what happened? Santos must got laryngitis or something. Or maybe he got his 2 tonsils removed. No, I would never advise anyone to get their tonsils removed because that can hinder your immune system. Did you know that? Getting your tonsils are like a first line of defense into your immune system. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just having fun. We've gone over, I think, almost an hour here. Wow. Episode number 123. This one will be one to remember. What if I substitute a state lottery for tribal casinos? At least my money goes to schools and repairing our roads. But I, on average, surely lose. Me too. Mr. James. I'm reading into your mind right now, Mr. James. I'm reading into your brain, into your psyche. What if I substitute state lottery for tribal casinos? I was watching a program called The Curse of the Lottery not too long ago. Have you ever watched The Curse of the Lottery? It's an interesting, on YouTube, you can find The Curse of the Lottery. It shows the before and after of people that win state lotteries or big amounts in the casinos. What is it? Maybe at least, I would say 3 to 4 out of every 5 individuals that win end up in a serious tragedy. And it's not because of the money. It's not because of people. Of course, that plays into it. It's because they don't have the right vision in their heads. In other words, they're trying to fly, what is it? Air One, right? Let's take a look at the president's airplane. That's a fantastic machine right there, right? They're trying to fly Air One. There's people that win, some people, every 3 or 4 people out of every 5. It's like they're trying to fly Air One with the instructions of a drone that has no GPS. Can you understand that? That's huge. That is big time. That's a good analogy. Well, it's true. That's why they shipwreck. I thought about this myself many times. I remember thinking, man, what if I came into a lot of money? Of course, I should have thought about this before I did what I did. But I think about it now all the time. What if you come into a lot of money? Well, number one, you have to be prepared mentally. You have to know how to distribute those funds. You have to know how to properly protect you as an individual. There's a lot of things that come into play. People think if I win the lottery, you win $1 million or $2 or $3 million, and then you ain't prepared for that, soldier. Forget it. Forget it. Fork. Let me see. Fork. Get it. Get it? Forget it. I'm hungry for some spaghetti. How about you guys? Man, I could use some tasty spaghetti today. Couldn't you? Just some perfect, rich red sauce. Perfectly well done noodles. A little sprinkle of grated Parmesan on top. Maybe turkey meat instead of the opposite. All right, my friends. Coming down. Let me see. We got a few people hanging on. You'll be copyrighted. Was that guy ready to take you for the ride in his vehicle? He turned out being a nice guy, but began driving mad like road rage. I'm not too sure about that one. It really is. It really is. It really is. Suzanne says, think about this with me for a moment. Close your eyes, if you will. I want you to think about the casino right now. Just think about it. Imagine if the casinos were open right now, right? There'd be people sitting in front of those machines. There'd be people flocking to the casinos if the casinos were open, right? Excited, man. Just excited to get there. You know what I'm saying? You're driving to the casino, and this is, what do you feel when you're driving the casino? I'm not going to take my shirt off, show you all my muscles. What do you feel like when you're driving up to the casino? This is what you're feeling, right? And you're like, man, I can't wait to get in front of that machine, right? Next thing you know, you drive up into the casino. You're all excited, man. The landscape, it's just, the lights are shining. The music's playing in the background. As soon as you step through that door, it's like you've entered. It's like you've entered into a time capsule, if you will, right? It's like it sucks you in, and you're inside the casino. Man, you're in the world of. Oh man, you're in the world of lights and sounds and all this, right? Music and money and the smell of food, and you're in there. Oh man, it's exciting. Isn't it? Isn't it exciting? Right? Then a couple of hours go by, just a couple of hours, and you find yourself sitting, maybe you're sitting next to a few older folks that smell like cigarette really bad. I mean, it's just bad. And you're sitting there and you're broke now. Man, you've gone to the ATM machine at least 5 times. You know? The fees haven't hit your account yet. So it's not really hurting that bad. That's not really hurting you that bad, right? The fees haven't showed up, right? The bounced checks, the Billy family, they haven't came knocking at, they haven't called you, right? Turn your phone off as soon as you get home from that escapade. You don't even want to look at your phone. You're scared. You're running scared, man. You're running scared. You left that casino as soon as you stepped outside. Right, you've entered into another time capsule, but this time capsule, you're depressed, man. You're pounding on the steering wheel. Maybe you get into an argument with yourself in the car, or with your spouse. You're arguing over money. You're mad. You're angry. Now you're thinking, oh man, what am I going to do about Jim, my landlord? What? It's Monday tomorrow, man. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't feel like going to work, man. But I know that I'm going to work for the next 2 weeks, and my paycheck is going to be gone. My paycheck is going to be gone. My fellow soldiers, does that sound like? What can I say? Is that adorable? How does that make you feel when I took you on into this casino right now? So you don't even need to go into the casino to feel it, man. But how good it feels. What if you were driving up to the casino and all of a sudden you thought about Santos popped into your head, man, like a popcorn. Bing! You're driving to the casino. You got $400 in your pocket, and you're driving to the casino. And just before you get to the casino, bing, popcorn, man, Santos, oh man, this freaking guy, man, he just popped. I watched his videos last week, I watched like 10 of them. All of a sudden, that little bing, Santos pops in your head. Oh man, and it kind of angers you for a little bit, but you know what? You turn around, you turn around, you literally brake, you turn your car around, you don't even look in your rearview mirror because you got the thing in your console, you got a camera in there, and you're looking back, and man, you're starting to feel good, man. You're starting to feel good that Santos, bing, popped up in your head, and you turn around and you start going back the other way, and now you're thinking, man, I feel good. I feel great. I got money in my pocket. Man, I was able to defeat that temptation. Yeah, I had a little bit of help, but who made the decision? I did. Man, I feel good. Now, compare that vision to the one that I just gave you. Which one would you prefer? That's why I talk about meditation. That's why I talk about 15-minute mornings, breakfast of champions. Those of you that don't know me or don't follow me too much on other social media sites, so I'm on Facebook, on Twitter, I hashtag every single morning Every single morning, I put an affirmation. I put a little bit of a positive quote on my Facebook. I'll either do it on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my LinkedIn. I'm starting to do it more on LinkedIn also. Just a little quote, right? Just a little reminder. And Santos, I just see, I make mistakes all the time. I just keep going. I don't care. That's what. Oh yeah, the meditation thing, right? 15-minute mornings. I'm always encouraging people to meditate every single day. If you're not meditating, if you're not creating vision, man, you're missing out. You're missing out in life. All right. All right, I preached enough. All right, I preached enough. Suzanne says, thank you. You're welcome. I'm going to get more into this mind valley exploration, because the more that I can take you on these virtual reality trips, the more it's going to help you. The more it's going to help me. The more you focus on vision, the more you can dream, the more you can become creative. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, man, what you tap into. It is. And gambling and all this other stuff becomes like a little speck. You don't even want to talk about gambling anymore. You want to talk about you want to talk about the good things, the best things, the good things. You're welcome, Suzanne. Man, maybe one of these days I'll go on a 2 or 3 hour marathon. I would see people in front of me pulling out hundreds to $1,000. Yeah, people are hurting. All right, my fellow soldiers, it's time. Wow, we've had quite a few people today. No book giveaway, but let me see. Next Sunday. Hey, welcome, Jim. I'm going to encourage you to watch. If you're a late comer today, if you're a straggler and you missed this broadcast, I'm going to encourage you to watch this broadcast over again. I believe this was jam-packed today, and this should really help you get going in a certain direction for yourself. That's my call to action, really, is to, number one, right, get a new vision through help if necessary. Number two, write it down. Plan. Partner with somebody if necessary. Number three, meditate more. Active thinking versus passive thinking. If you wake up in the morning and if you slide out of bed like an eel, right? An eel that slid, and you don't really think about your morning, and you don't really think about you, or you don't use affirmations early in the morning, then what you're doing is that's called passive thinking. It's passive, right? You're not really directing your life. You're not really directing yourself. You're not really engaging in focus. We have to really start practicing active thinking, my fellow soldiers. Number four, taking micro steps. And then, of course, five is achievements. We're going to be back here Actually, we will be back here on Friday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery, Santos Jr., straight out of Stockton. We're going to be back here again on Sunday. And I'm really thinking about starting a class, creating a class. It's kind of like a meditation class, maybe like a 30-minute session of meditation where I help folks. I guide you through the steps. I'm probably not going to do that for free because there's going to be some involvement there, and that's going to be a whole separate program. Who knows, if I get enough feedback on that, if I get enough requests, I will do that because I know the importance of this, of having somebody help us. Sometimes we just need somebody to help us. Right? Take me through the process. I can show up. Just take me through the process. Ask me the questions. I've got, the pen and the journal. I'll write down. I mean, if something's going to benefit you, why not participate, right? And one of the reasons why I may do this and I may put a little bit of a cost factor is because I noticed that in my personal life, if I pay for something, I take it more seriously. I've done projects and I've done things with people where they didn't really have to pay. And afterward, I can see that they didn't put no effort into it at all. They really didn't. And even sometimes when you pay for things, if you're not careful, you can take it for granted. But the likelihood is that if you pay for something, you're going to take it more seriously. Truth or fiction? Thank you, Rob. Thank you, James, Mark, Laura, Jesse, Jim, Suzanne. Let me see who else is on here. I know Jim was here. The other Jim, Jesse, and Josephine. Oh, hi, Josephine. And there's still quite a few people on here. Listen, if you guys have a question, you've got an observation, we can hang out for a little bit longer. I really don't want to preach too more because I'm becoming redundant. Of course, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Correct? Oh, man, be excited. Be excited for who you can become. Be excited for what you can do. Be excited for who you can serve, how you can reach others and change your life. Right? Help people discover themselves. Yes. Wow, we've reached 20. We have reached 20. And I'm going to have to take this phone call, I think. Hello, this is Santos speaking. I'm working on super fantastic, terrific, and over the top, my good friend. Yeah. Sure. I will text you the address. And how long is it going to be here? How long will it take for you to come? Okay. Sure. I'll be here. I'll text it to you. Yep. You're very welcome. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. I have to meet with a client here pretty soon. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I might have a call-in program one of these days, like a fellow teacher of mine does. Wow. We're coming up here. I'm going to be here for a few more minutes. If you have a question, listen, I'm asking for those of you support. My goal, 1 million plus people. I want to reach 1 million plus people. Help you believe in yourself, help you tap into your inner genius, develop your superpowers, if you will. Escape gambling, move away permanently, free. I want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, man, gambling is no longer a part of my life. I am completely free. Permanently, or whatever that thing is. Right? That's my goal, man. reach out those people, and of course have support coming in so that I can do more of this. I'd love to be doing more of this full time, man, a couple days a week, but all of that takes time and money. So if you see the benefit, team up, soldiersofselfmastery.com. And again, you could support the mission by getting one of our books. Right? You can get one of our books. There's another book. There's another one coming soon. And we got Soldier of Self-Mastery t-shirts coming too. I'm looking forward to that, man. Some really cool Soldiers of Self-Mastery for her and for him. I just need to get some feedback. I need to get some emails. Thank you. Thank you, Nahil. All right. James says, feel the go. Feel the burn. Feel the burn. Ow. Let me see. Put your feet up, feet up, feet up. Put your feet up, feet up, feet up. That's not what it's saying. Commercial break. Yeah, somebody that's interested in something that I have for sale. That's why I had to take the phone. Normally, I wouldn't have taken the phone call. Email. Let me see. Where's my email? I'm willing to hang out here for just a little bit longer. I see that there's a little bit of a crowd here. If you have a question, if you have an observation that you want to go right ahead and ask me before I go eat my bowl of spaghetti. Well, for everybody, this fulfilling, for everybody, it's a little different. The truth is, though, the reason why you may feel fulfilled is because there's a chemical being released in your body, and it's called dopamine, or they call it endorphins. It releases endorphins. Kind of reminds me of of dolphins happy, right? It's the same thing when you eat something that you really enjoy, a meal, or you have a conversation with somebody that you really enjoy. That releases dopamine. It releases a feel good. If we stay close to the source of that dopamine, eventually your body begins to build a resistance against it also. But it's good because that's what helps us change, right? Casino gambling releases dopamine. So it feels good for a little bit. It does. But like I shared that scenario with you earlier, it begins to become sour, right? It's like food that you can eat. It's like tasty food that you eat, but then all of a sudden when it hits your stomach, it makes you feel rotten, right? It gives you the runs. It gives you a really bad stomach ache. You feel rotten. And that's what happens, right? That dopamine effect, that feel-good effect becomes clouded by your losses, by your depression. And that's why people chase the loss. They're trying to get that dopamine effect, but they don't realize, man, this ain't working anymore. It ain't working, right? I'm just wondering, when you're doing bad, is that the reason why people stay involved? They say, you're in pain. You're comfortable in your pain, but you're staying there and you're not willing to do anything about it. Could it be that maybe there's a release of dopamine there also? I don't quite understand that. Because it is true that even though you're in pain and you're in a comfort zone where you think about wanting to get out of there, but you don't, it's easier for you to stay there and bear that pain. Because somehow it does feel good to you. Somehow there's a release of dopamine there. Now, it's different for all of us. It really is different for all of us. But I really believe that the main reason why a person gambles, the main reason, how they got there is one thing, right? How you get to that place. But the main reason why you're gambling is because you have a faulty vision. Remember I said this earlier in the broadcast? For instance, if you look at your life right now, if you look at your home, if you look at where you live, if you look at your address, in fact, if you take a minute to think about how you feel, the car that you drive, maybe you have leather seats, you have suede. What color is the car inside? What kind of wheels do you have on that car? What about your mate? Your mind has brought you all of those things, at least to a certain degree, right? The master of the universe has a master plan. You're not going to thwart. You are not going to interrupt that plan. That's set in stone. He allows us to make decisions here on this planet. So if you don't have the right vision, you can't expect something different. In fact, there's a ludicrous, I like to say ludicrous statement, and it goes like this: if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, that's insanity. So if you're doing the same thing over and over and you haven't changed your vision, it's a process. There's work, right? You can make up your mind. You can decide, I'm going to change. But there's got to be a plan. There absolutely has to be a plan. There has to be a 5-step plan in progress. I've spoken to individuals that tell me I have a plan, and I look at them and I say, show me your plan. Can you show me in writing? Can you show me your plan in writing? Can you show me your plan in writing? Okay, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. How about pastry? I must be getting hungry. That wasn't pastry. That was pastry. So everybody's different. You might need a little bit of a different plan for your lifestyle, but nevertheless, they're the same tools. They're all going to be the same tools, right? Sadly, some people have to be dragged into a facility. You ever hear of those programs that they, what is it? Intervention, right? They show up, a posse of 8. They show up at the door and they invite the victim. And then they hit the victim hard with all kinds of stuff, man. They force him. They force that person to change. Unless the person's willing, right? They're putting him in a prison. Some people come out of that changed. But if you don't change your vision, you can go to a program for 45 days. And if they don't help you change your vision, you just wasted all your time. And you didn't waste your time. I'm not going to say everything's a waste of time. You've just learned something. Maybe you learned that process that you just went through 45 days is not going to work for you, right? Maybe you can get away with, right? What if you downloaded the Problem Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Academy? I think Cephas is selling that for $97 right now. Usually it goes for $297. Right now it's at $97, right? You get a series of videos. I think they're about 15 minutes, anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes long. There's 8 or 9 videos, and then there's some bonus videos in there, right? I go through kind of like the A, B's, and C's. That's a program that was created over a year ago, so it's a little bit, my thinking back then is a little different than it is today, but nevertheless, it's still a program that will take you step by step. And there's also a curriculum, a guideline. There's some questions that you follow. You have to be committed to a plan. There's no way that you can buy. I remember this one guy bought the Gambling Addictions Breakthrough. Man, I enjoyed the videos. He went through the videos real quick. I never heard from him again. Hey, did you go through the curriculum guideline? Did you download the questionnaire? What about the coaching session that you get with me so I can bust your bubble? You're going to get a 30-minute coaching with me in there. The value from that is at least at a minimum, at least $250. That's kind of like what I charge for an hour. Santos, you charge one? Yep. You come to me and you want to talk to me about something, and it's around that kind of a price. Well, maybe not that high now. Santos, you're a little bit high. Well, you got to survive. I'm in California, right? And not that. I'm not going to charge a poor person that kind of money. Well, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't matter whether you're poor or whether you have money. The fact is that if you want something and I can help you get the result, you're going to pay. Of course you pay, right? You pay anybody. If somebody offered you, you got a goal or something that you want to achieve, and they tell you, yeah, well, you know what? You pay me $3. I'm going to, $3. Yeah, you pay me $3. I'm going to guide you through the steps, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. It's going to cut your learning curve. And instead of doing it in 6 to 12 months, you're going to be able to do it in 2 weeks. Make sense? That makes sense to me. But you got to have the funds. You got to have the means to pay for something, right? I'd love to have $300 or $400 right now just to give to a few individuals to help me on certain projects. I'd love to be able to do that, right? I've been able to do that right now. We're trimming the fat, like they say. We're trimming the fat. I don't have that kind of money to be able to pay somebody to set up my clothing store or whatever. Of course, I'm going to do most of the work myself with my coach, but everything takes money. Anyways, you got me back into it, man. So, but that's what happens. That is what happens. I see 1 million subscribers for you. Yay! Somebody caught the vision. Thank you, James, for inspiring me and encouraging me to believe even more. Because it gets challenging at times. It gets challenging. So thank you. I'm just being honest. Gambling makes me feel like nothing else in life, and I am 150. You got to keep, focus on the day-to-day, right? Focus on the day-to-day. That's the important thing, because you've got a couple of months there. What's going to help you is the mindset that you have right now. What's going to help you go forward is the mindset that you have right here, today, going forward. Right? You can focus on the past. You can learn from the past. What you want to do is you want to tap into your future. I asked my wife, I said, can you see your future? My wife wasn't too sure about that. I said, can you step into the past? She goes, yeah. Are you aware that you can actually step into your past and you can actually almost make your body feel that experience? Right? Go back into a past experience that you didn't like. Think on that for a little bit. Experience what does happen to your emotional, right? Now think about who you can be. Think ahead in the future. Think about what your life could be. What would your life be like if you had been gambling for at least 6 months? Can you experience that? Can you see it? Can you experience yourself coming home from work, putting money in the bank? Can you experience how you would feel emotionally every time that you get a paycheck? So you can experience that right now. People think that you have to go through certain things in order to get better. No. You use the power of your mind and you can begin transforming yourself from right now going forward. All you got to do is learn how to do it. Tap into your superpower. It's all here, right here. These two things, right? These two things. But get vision. Get vision. Well, thank you for that question. Got another question here. How do you know you are putting the ladder against the right wall? That's a fantastic question, Jim. Let's look at that. Sometimes in life, we become late bloomers. There are people that have the ladder up against the wrong wall. Some soldiers are not going to find out till the end. That's sad. Some of us are beginning to see that. Man, I got my ladder up against the wrong wall. I'm halfway up there. Let me get back down quick. But at least I'm not at the top yet. Some people reach the top and then they jump off because when they get to the top, the view that they get from the top is not what they thought it was going to be. Right? Because they really didn't have a destination. You can't go somewhere if you don't know where you're going. You can't set micro steps if you don't have a destination. If you don't have an average. Now, Santos, there's a process to all of this. Again, if you need help, get somebody that knows a little bit about this. Get help. Humble yourself. Maybe you can find a good friend, somebody dependable. Right? I offer my services all the time. I give the opportunity. What's my goal as a coach? Is to help you get the result. Help you get the result that you want. But Santos, you're not in my business. That doesn't matter because I'm not the one that holds the answers. You are. It's my job to draw those answers out from within you. See, when you have superpowers, when you have the ability to tap into inner genius, you can do that. You can draw from inside the other person. Now, the other person has to want something. They have to be committed, whether it's forking out money, whether it's putting in the valuable time, whether it is actually sitting down and writing out a plan. I remember there's been times where I sat down to write and I crumbled at least 5 or 6 pages, just crumbled them until I could get to the right one. Some of us have a wake-up call, like I said, in the middle of that climb. The only honest way that you can really know where you are in life is you have to take inventory. You have to be willing to take inventory. You have to be willing to become undressed, if you will. Expose yourself a little bit. Become naked. This is what I'm finding. And, you know, you gotta, right? But you have to believe, create. You have to believe. There's a lot of things that we're all struggling with. I'm going to say this again because this is vital. The ability, this has been hitting me very, very strongly. Your mind, your body, your health, your wealth, your relationships. You have to work in those areas of your life. And this takes work. This takes planning. It takes sometimes, well, it takes others to get involved. If you're not willing to humble yourself, and if you're not willing to accept that truth, then, you know, you're going to struggle. You'll struggle with your business. You'll struggle with many other things. That's a great, so that hopefully that answers a little bit. Let me see what else we have here. Well, I don't recommend going into the casino because, again, you're setting yourself up, and you know what you're capable of doing. You know what you're not capable of doing. And again, if we're focused on something that's wrong, what's the opposite of that, right? What's the opposite of focusing on something that's wrong? What's the opposite? God's grace enables us to turn away from anything. It's true. Even if it takes death to make that happen. And that is a sad reality, right? Death is the ultimate stopping place. There are people that just, for some reason, never made it out. There's people, I have a friend that I lost that I grew up with. We used to call him Donkey. And he passed away very early on. And he never found his freedom. I don't understand that. I do understand that we all have a clock. This is the way I look at life. We all have a clock that is running, right? Second by second. And that clock is going to stop for you and I. And when that time comes up, it's done. There's no way you're gonna. Once that door opens, it's a big door. It's a very, very big door. It's a very strong door. It only opens one way. How do you want to live your life? I struggle at times with my nature. Do you struggle with your nature at times? Does your nature rise up at times and tries to tell you what it's going to do? You ever experience that? It rises up and it's, when that bully rises up and you get whooped enough times, you begin to tell yourself, I think it's time for me to do something about this bully. And we've been, I tell you, we're brainwashed. Go to show you how brainwashed we are. If you've ever played with children, you've had children, I've got, 7, 8 grandchildren. They're not always around. When you lower yourself, when you tap into that energy and that atmosphere where children are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, you enter into another world. And we think that that world is fake. We think that that world is not important. We seem to have this notion that this world of imagination that you and I can tap into at will whenever we want to is not important. That's kids play. That's kids talk, right? You're a grown-up. Grown-ups supposed to think like grown-ups. So what happens is we're getting brainwashed, right? We don't sit down with ourselves to meditate for 15 minutes. We don't dare close our eyes and ask ourselves the question, the work that I'm doing right now, how will that work be done in the future? Can I see myself? How do I see myself addressing my leads, my people that are interested in wanting to work with me? In fact, I'm getting too distracted here because I got to go. So I'm going to end on this program here. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for let me see, for being with me. Once again, we've turned on the light brighter, and we're drinking some. In my case, I've had a little bit of a Red Bull. I haven't finished it. I'm not doing it all the time anymore. But I am excited. I'm excited for those of you that are willing. I'm excited for those of you that are beginning to write down your vision. The topic of this program today was vision and blueprinting into a new life. Wow. I didn't even scratch the surface, man. All right. We're done. We've got a good video coming on Monday, so stay tuned for that one. I think you'll enjoy it. Grow Successful made that video, the one that's going to be on Monday at 1 p.m. It was made by Grow Successful on YouTube. And if you watch the video, you're not going to see me, but you'll hear my voice as the narrator. And I thought that was rather interesting. That's the new video that's coming on Monday. So watch it, share it. I believe you'll find some very, very good encouragement and motivation from that one. And until then, I will see you guys on Friday at 4 p.m., Lord willing, and then back on Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Soldiers of Self-Mastery. Sunday Night Alive Power Hour. All right, my fellow soldiers, remember what I shared with you. Put it to work. Put it to work.